Today, I have something ridiculously special on the channel. It's one of the most sought after boots ever made. It takes inspiration from one of the most important boots ever made. I never thought I'd actually get my hands on a pair of these to have them on the channel at all. So I have to give a huge shout out to MDBOOTS for this. This is going to be awesome. What's up guys, James here from Boot Wizard Boot Reviews, and today we've got a little retro review, a little unboxing, a little history lesson on the Nike XV, which stands for Mercurial Vapor 15. Now, we're only on the Vapor 13 right now, so how have we got a 15? Before we crack this open, I do want to say a huge thank you to MDBOOTS. If you're not already following him on Instagram, head over there, follow him now as a huge thank you from me, because I don't own these boots. I have loaned these from MDBOOTS, and without him, this video is 100% impossible. So please do that, head over there, get a follow on his channel to say thank you from me, and of course, get subscribed to my channel, hit the like button, and let's get these out of the box. Starting with the box, this has to be one of the most special boxes that Nike's ever put out, and it's super simple, it's super clean. It's just all white with the XV in chrome just here on the top as well, and then you get the label here, which is Mercurial Vapor 9 SE. So no major leaks as to what's in here, but it's a super clean box. It really alludes to how special the boot is inside, that you just get these touches of chrome, and you don't need a big, colourful, full safari print box, for example, for what is in here. The string bag is our first hint of what we're going to get in the box, and it's this kind of purple blue colour, which will be very familiar to some of you boot heads, with Volt accents and a Volt logo. So if you know your boots, you know what's in here already, and it's fantastic. It ties in with the boot really, really well. Nike have been the kings of the string bag game for a long time, and even back in 2013, they were knocking out absolute class string bags. This is awesome. Let's get into it. What we're all here for. Boom, the boots. This has to be one of the most striking designs that you're ever likely to see on a pair of football boots. Clearly based on the original 98 Mercurial as worn by R9 Ronaldo himself. This is the special 15th anniversary edition that was released by Nike in 2013 to commemorate that very special boot. Now, if you think that this stands out now, and this is like, wow, striking, look at that boot, imagine the response to this in 1998 when Ronaldo strolls out onto the pitch wearing these and everybody else is basically rocking a black or a white boot. These boots made waves in the design, but also in the tech. Although speaking about those original 98 Mercurials, these are not those. This is not a one-to-one remake. This is the Vapor 9 of the time with a 98 Mercurial paint job just to make it look like that. Although they haven't even matched it up perfectly. There's some modern design elements here, some subtle changes, some slightly bigger changes to give it a more modern feel, a modern look, and I'll get into it in a minute, but I think that's actually a really solid choice, but the inspiration is clear. So R9 was tearing up the pitches in his original boots in a purple, yellow, and silver colorway. Not quite the same here, and I think, say it quietly, there's a solid argument to be made that these are better looking than the originals. They of course don't carry that same gravitas and importance, but probably take these just looks wise. So what are the differences? We've of course got the Nike Volt color instead of yellow. So you've got Volt laces, you've got the Volt swoosh, and you've got a chrome base. So this isn't really silver, it's more of a shiny metallic chrome. You can see how it catches the light, which is different to that original 98 Mercurial, which was a bit more matte, and the yellow was much more yellow. There was none of this modern Nike Volt. The pattern with the purple running round the silver is identical to that original, but they have changed the swoosh design. The swoosh here is much bigger, and of course, as I say, in that Volt, and the swoosh here, it's a slightly different position and shape to the original. So it's just these little subtle tweaks and nods. Now, it could be argued that when you're doing this remake, they should have stuck truer to the original, but I would disagree. I think that the original was such an iconic boot, not only for the looks that made it stand out, but also for the tech. This was Nike's first ever fully synthetic boot. This is a huge deal. At a time when everything was leather, Nike launched this KNG 100 synthetic, which is obviously what led us to Teijin synthetic in the end, and it revolutionized things, it changed things. The whole boot was designed around the idea of you being able to be fast, because the boot was so much lighter than anything else, like a lot heavier than this, but so much lighter than anything else that was on the market. It had that kind of leather-like feel and touch, because that's what Nike were going for, but it was lighter, it didn't hold as much water, it didn't overstretch. It's absolutely revolutionary. Everyone remembers it for how it looked and Ronaldo wearing it. We should never forget how important that boot is tech-wise for the football boot industry and Nike as a company. Back then, if you look at the original, all the panels, all the areas were still stitched together. There's a lot of stitching on that boot. You can see here, crispy clean, which does help the looks. There's no stitching here. So with Nike having the original Mercurial be such a technical innovation, why would you take away all the tech from the Vapor 9, or at least reduce it down just to try and match it up? You want to give the colors those new bright colors that are really modern Nike, and then take away that stitching. You don't want it. You want this smooth, clean, Teijin synthetic surface that you got on the Vapor 9 of the time, and not have that stitching, because the Vapor is all about the newest thing, modern innovation, the next big thing, and being at the forefront. So don't go backwards, go forwards. And that's what they did here, because they stuck with the Vapor 9 blueprint. Everything about this boot is Vapor 9. It's what you got on the original release at the time, all the way down to this phenomenal sole plate with the dual layer glass fiber in the back, single layer glass fiber in the forefront, and it's one of my favorites. I really like this sole plate from a performance standpoint. That's not really what we're here to talk about, are we? But that's my take. I think that going with a more modern look on a more modern boot to push the idea of the Mercurial being the forefront of technology is the way to go. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments. While not being a big Mercurial guy, and I realize it's not the best performing one ever made, the Vapor 9 is possibly my favorite Vapor ever, just because it feels the most Vapor to me. It's the one that really shares the Vapor DNA the closest, at least in my opinion. So I think this is a perfect homage for 15 years of the Mercurial football boot. But as I say, let me know what you think of the design choices. Let me know what you think of this boot. Would you cop a pair if you could? I don't even want to know how much it would cost to get my hands on a pair of these days. But anyway, remember to like this video, get subscribed to the channel. I've got more amazing stuff coming, including some more retro reviews and limited releases. But that's all from me here at Boot Wizard today. Remember, absolutely head over to MDBOOTS, drop him a follow. It's very important. I've got to say thank you to the man. But have a good day, and I'll see you soon.